Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Unbiased F1 podcast. I'm finally joined with Johnny, who is not actually in the same place as me. That hence why we're doing it over Facebook. How are you
I
doing,
could just
Johnny?
be upstairs right now. You don't know.
You could be upstairs, to be fair. Not even in my own home, actually. So
We're both not in our homes.
exactly,
Like I said, I'm upstairs.
we're just using Wi-Fi from other people. How are you doing? Been a long time since you've been on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm doing alright. I'm happy to be back. Yeah, I've been watching the other ones, and I can't remember your friend's name.
Matt.
I'm terrible with names. Matt, that's it. Not that I didn't like it. I did like the other podcast. I'm just terrible with names.
Yeah, there's a bit of beef between you and Matt because I think maybe you felt like Matt was taking your position.
I was like, oh man, he's better than me. He's
He's
better than
doing
me
such
already.
a good job. Oh, man. Matt's in
think,
Canada actually, hence why he's not here.
Alright, cool.
So yeah, he's just flown to Canada. We're here to talk about the British Grand Prix.
Oh, we are. Huh.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on that race? Unbelievable, best race of the year in my opinion.
Best. Ooh, that's a claim. I don't know. For me, I still think Bahrain was better. But
Bahrain, no.
Bahrain was. Wait, was it Bahrain was good?
Bahrain
race?
was good, yeah. No,
Bahrain was
China
good.
was the best one, mate.
Right,
Like
you
two
could
overtakes.
Jesus Christ.
F1000.
No, I enjoyed this race. Yeah, it was definitely very entertaining. The battle between Leclerc and Max, obviously carrying on from Austria, was just incredible. And yeah, just the two of them. I'm just like Max obviously has grown up so much now.
Mm-hmm.
And
He is mature.
Leclerc, yeah, he's matured a lot. And Leclerc, ever since he came in last year, has just looked like he belongs. So yeah, I thought that really made the race.
Austria was a good race as well because we've had three races now that have been completely different to each other. We have France, which was absolutely dreadful in every single way,
Yep.
and then we have Austria, which is what F1 is
Yeah.
and what we all wanted and needed, and then we have Silverstone, which is even better in my opinion.
Yeah. Silverstone's been the best out of those three. Still for me, yeah, but like I said, Bahrain better, but yeah, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, Bahrain
It's
was
definitely
good.
the second best.
Wasn't quite Silverstone, but did you watch qualifying? Because I was there on Friday.
Look,
Wasn't
he's
there on
mentioned
Saturday
that,
and
hasn't he?
Sunday. Yeah, I put a couple of stories up on the Instagram. I forgot to put the rest up, so I didn't want to put them up. But yeah, qualifying was actually quite good because Bottas got pole, obviously, and Hamilton was
close.
He was 6 thousandths behind.
That was close, yeah.
The last corner, you see Bottas was like full opposite lock. That was crazy. That's where he lost. That's where Hamilton gained, I think, and he was just away. But yeah,
that was incredible.
in terms of the race start, Bottas got away well. It wasn't that chaotic, to be honest. The start was fine. It was just the following laps that were pretty mental. It all kicked off with the first few laps, basically
was
Hamilton and Bottas were just battling. The two Hasses crashed into each other,
right.
and sorry, your video just paused. You were just stuck in that position. You're fine now. Your thoughts on the first few laps?
So the start was pretty boring. Obviously, compared to last year with Lewis spinning and that was great. This time, the only thing that happened was Haas obviously touching the two of them. They had a terrible week
Shocking.
they've had. Yeah, that was quite funny what's going on with Rich Energy and Haas at the moment. But yeah, this definitely didn't help that relationship.
That Twitter account, surely that is a meme. That
It's
can't
got
be
to be.
genuine.
That can't be their actual account. Like, that's got to be a joke account.
Because literally every single day now, there's just like, Haas a shit. Oh, look at you, Haas, you're terrible. That tweet was so bad.
When they put out the picture of like a milk cart with changed to a Haas livery.
That can't be real, surely.
Oh my god, it was brilliant. But yeah, no.
That beef has been quite entertaining, actually. Very entertaining.
That's been funny. I hope that carries on until the summer break at least. But yeah, other than that, it was a pretty straightforward start. Obviously, Lewis, what was it, lap 4 when he tried to take Bottas? I think?
Yeah, lap 4. Yeah.
Lap 4. That was a fantastic little battle there.
That battle was fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, he did such a good move. So like at the end of the straight there.
But fair play to Bottas.
Bottas, that was an even better move from him.
Schooled him. He schooled Hamilton.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
I don't think that reminded me of Rosberg Hamilton when that happened, because I don't think if that was I don't know if that was like a Gasly or a Leclerc or somebody. I don't know whether they come back. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a less experienced. I'd say definitely if it was Gasly, he wouldn't have come back.
Poor
Leclerc,
Gasly.
like I said, I think Leclerc is, he's destined to be an F1 champion. I reckon he would have pushed it as well. But no, you'd only get that sort of thing from experienced drivers. So yeah, from Bottas and Hamilton, that was just incredible driving.
And it was. They kept battling for like the first 20 or 30 laps, and also another tasty battle. Young Max and Charles were rekindling their love from Austria. Thoughts on that?
Brilliant fight. That was brilliant. Wait, hang on, because I'm just going to go back onto the notes real quick. But I think that's when my screen keeps pausing. Is it alright right now?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I can see you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. Let me see. Verstappen. I need to try and remember because you know how bad my memory is.
Terrible. Honestly, shocking.
I had the I watched the highlights again just before this, and I've already forgotten everything.
Verstappen and Leclerc. Verstappen drives for Red Bull. He was in the blue car, and Leclerc was in the red car. Yeah, I'm positive about that. Someone told me once.
I thought there was a pink car somewhere between the two of them. I don't know.
It's the Rich Energy team. Rich Energy F1.
Rich Energy, Sport Pacer, Mercedes engine.
Racing Point.
That's it. Racing
F1
Point.
team.
Get someone there cater 'em.
Cater 'em. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's a weird callback. No, that was an incredible fight between the two of them. They were just they were like the whole race. They were going at it pretty much. And obviously I'm more of a Leclerc fan than I am a Verstappen fan. I've always said Verstappen is a good driver. He just needs to grow up basically. Like he's been in the sport long enough. You can't use the excuse that he's a young driver anymore. And he's definitely been proving this year that he's matured. And these past couple races, it's been really from him. It's been fantastic. And yeah, just watching the two of them, especially Leclerc only being in his second year in F1 and being in a Ferrari as well, doing as good as he is and driving like that. It's fantastic.
And then, literally, you said about Gasly, you've been bashing Gasly recently. He got past Vettel and then pitted immediately on lap 12.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Gasly just had a really strong weekend. He was fastest in FP1. He was very quick in practice, but just missed out in qualifying.
No, I was saying during the race to my dad, I really liked how Gasly's been driving the last 3 races. Like he's started to really find himself. Like he started to understand the car. And he's actually driving really well now. And I reckon he'll end up on the podium at least once, maybe twice this year. I think like he's finding it now, and I think he's gonna start improving. He's gonna start getting better and better.
Can I just say there's a fly that keeps flying onto my leg during this podcast. Jesus Christ!
I think you're just saying that to show off your Colorado jersey.
Oh, my Colorado Rapids shirt. Yeah, that's there's a gift from my dad's friend. He lives in Colorado. Is there a good? They've got a couple of ex-Ipswich players actually. Good team. Well,
terrible team.
Not very good.
So
actually.
That's why they're not winning anything then.
They don't win many games at all. Okay, so sorry we had some technical difficulties, but we're back now. Where are we? I can't remember where we were.
We had just got to Gasly when he overtook Vettel and then pit.
Yes, Gasly overtook Vettel. And the lap after that, Leclerc and Verstappen both pit, and this is where it starts to get spicy. They both pit, one behind each other, and Red Bull work their magic, and they come out side by side in the pit lane.
I mean, when I saw it, I was like, that Ferrari pit stop, that looked a bit like it was a 2.9, which is a good pit stop, but it was just a bit too slow. Like you can see it, like they put the front right is on like a good couple milliseconds before the front left, and that really does make a huge difference when it comes to the pit stops. And I just
it does.
Yeah, when it happened, I was like, oh, that's going to be close.
Because one of my friends, he kind of watches F1 every now and then. He tries to watch every race. He was like, I didn't even realise they could race in the pit lane.
Oh yeah,
and that you can race in the pit lane as long as you're not like turning into somebody.
Yeah,
like Verstappen did to Bottas. In Monaco.
As long as you're not turning into someone and you're keeping to pit limits, keeping to the speed limit, you're fine.
There's nothing wrong with that. I quite like that.
Yeah,
makes it more competitive.
Yeah, it was fantastic. That was a good little race in the pits there.
And then Leclerc was behind him, but Verstappen goes wide in the loop, and he loses it to Leclerc, and he must have been pissed.
Oh, he would have been.
They had the position, and then he threw it away with cold tyres.
He did it like early on in the race though as well, didn't he? Like he he went a bit wide. He just seemed to struggle when his tyres were like, newer.
Fresh.
When they weren't, when they're fresh, not as hot as when after like a couple of laps. He just seemed to struggle. I mean, I know everyone was struggling in, what was it, practice 2 when everyone was just going off.
Yeah.
This was
everyone was going off.
Yeah, it was a new surface. They redid the surface of Silverstone. They said for this year. So yeah, everyone was feeling the difference already. Obviously with these new tyres as well for this year, that was already a big difference. But yeah, you would have thought this, like, as far as they are into the season, they'd be used to all of this. But yeah, it was just a bit weird from him.
On lap 19, the battle continued. Verstappen dive-bombed Leclerc, and Leclerc. This was into Stowe, and this was literally he squeezed Verstappen so much to the outside.
Yeah.
And then Verstappen looked like he got the job done, and then Leclerc just came off the brakes, and then he managed to keep the position. There's nothing wrong with that. I thought that was hard, fair racing. But if that was back in Canada, FIA are going to give a penalty for that.
God, you're not going to let
Saying
that
that,
go as well.
Saying that, before I forget, there was a guy, I saw him on Friday, walking around all Ferrari merch. With he had a big flag saying Seb P1 Canada. So some people clearly aren't over that.
No one's going to be over that. And like, it annoys me on one hand, but at the same time, I'm still annoyed about something that happened before I was even born with, Prost and Senna from years ago. Like, that still annoys me. And
You're still annoyed.
That annoys me. So I'm more like, oh, okay, right, I'll let Ferrari fans be, Seb deserved the win. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he made the mistake. That's a complete...
We're not going
podcast on that.
We're not going
Watch
back
the
to
podcast.
That.
We'll put it up here somewhere.
We're not going back onto that.
Yeah, and then the lap after that, actually, Giovinazzi spins into club. Looked like he just got on the curb or something, or braked, locked up the rears and just span off.
Yeah.
And that was the safety car after that.
I thought it was really weird that they did a full safety. I mean, I definitely thought that there would be a lot of the Hamilton haters would be like, oh, them gifting Hamilton another win. Because obviously, Bottas was pit and he waited. It was a gift to Hamilton. I really did think it was weird that they did a full safety car, but then, like, when you see it, I think it's completely understandable, because ever since Bianchi's crash, if they have to bring a truck or something on to the circuit, like within the circuit limits, it makes sense for them to have to really slow it down. So
everyone would rather see a safety car than that happen again.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Although maybe it should have been a virtual safety car, but even then, Hamilton would have kept the lead. So
yeah, I did.
It had to be something.
I thought it was going to be a virtual safety car. When they said a full safety car, I was like, that's a bit weird. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's just for the safety of everyone, for the drivers there. I understand it. It was a bit of a gift for Hamilton, but he was already pressing Bottas. If it didn't have happened, I reckon he would have pushed it anyway. Like,
he probably would have got past.
Yeah,
I reckon.
I think so. I think they would have ended up on different strategies, I reckon. And yeah, I think he would have been able to get it done.
Because when did he stop? Lap 17. When Bottas stopped, they put him on hards. Or no, did they put him on mediums again?
Yeah, they put him on mediums, so he'd have to stop again.
Weird. Why didn't they put him on hards?
Yeah, I think they must have looked at his tyre degradation from the start and just through the simulation must have been like, he's not going to be able to make it on, go any further than that, and if he was to be put on the hards to the end, he probably wouldn't make it, or he would be really struggling towards the end. So I think they must have thought to play it safe, whilst Hamilton has proven many times he's much better than everyone else when it comes to preserving the tyres. So that's why he stayed out not just one lap, but a good couple laps. Yeah. So yeah,
and luckily he did, because he would have come out behind probably Bottas.
Yeah, he would have,
if he had stopped before.
Yeah, because he was, there was an almost 50% chance if he had pitted the lap or two after Bottas, and then it started to go down after that, after he stayed out. But
the safety car did gift Hamilton, and it helped out Vettel as well. He stopped on the safety car.
Yeah.
But it did screw over Leclerc and Verstappen. It helped out Gasly as well. But Leclerc came over the radio and he was like, "How the hell did that happen?" He was third. Now he's sixth.
Yeah.
So he swapped basically with Vettel.
Yeah, that was annoying.
That didn't help him.
And the fact that they didn't even give him a proper answer. Normally, when it happens to Mercedes or Red Bull, they'll come over and they'll be like, sorry mate, it's a safety car, it's just unfortunate. Ferrari just said, our time will come later on in the race. Not going to give him an explanation or anything.
They knew they screwed up.
Yeah, they knew they screwed up, but they're never going to admit it.
No.
I hate the way Ferrari are run.
You hate Ferrari.
I really do. I really hate Ferrari.
When I went on Friday, side note, me and Nathan, one of my friends, we went to Silverstone, and he was on the phone to his mum on the way back. She hates Ferrari so much. And he was like, I've just bought a Ferrari shirt. And she was like, right, I'm packing your bags. She was genuine. She was literally genuine, going to like chuck him out because he had a Ferrari shirt on.
I would be too.
So this is the hatred that people have for Ferrari in the UK.
I really hate Ferrari.
I like Ferrari. Well, I've got a Ferrari shirt because Alonso, but now he's retired.
Yeah, I like certain drivers for Ferrari. I just hate the way the team are run. I always hate
the team just screw themselves over.
Yeah,
too many times.
They could easily win the constructors in other times though, but they rather prefer one driver over another. Like they always need a number one.
23. That was the restart. Verstappen, weird radio message. He was told to be very careful with any overtakes on Gasly. What do you read into that? Because there was team orders definitely to let him through. I think.
I reckon, yeah, that's
because he let him through eventually.
Yeah, he let him. I didn't even know that they let him through. Like I was just like I think I went on my phone for like a lap or two, just checking all the it might have been whilst I was talking to you or something, or it would have just been like checking it out on what everyone said on Twitter, and I just suddenly see Leclerc on the back of Red Bull. I'm like, oh, good, the battle's back. And it's like, no, that's against Gasly. I'm like, what? When did that happen?
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Gasly did well. He was up to fourth in the safety car. This is a race he needed this race weekend. He needs to be quickest in FP1. He needed a good race, and he had one.
Yeah, I think, yeah, like I said earlier, he's doing really well. He's really picked it up. It just took him a little while to I think, get used to the car, find his way, find his style of driving with it. And I think, yeah, from now on, he's going to do a lot better. And he is, like, especially this weekend, he was with the pace of the other top six guys. So, yeah, I think
it wasn't like he was a second or a lap slower like he has been. He got lapped by Verstappen last time, and at least he finished in front of him. We know why that happened. We'll get onto that. That's coming up very soon. Quickly, lap 24, Perez hits Hulkenberg. I sent you a video on Twitter. This was under the restart.
Oh, yeah.
Under the safety car, like, Perez had both hands off the wheel, like, grabbing like a button, trying to flick it on for the brake bias. And it was all the way to the front or something, so he couldn't slow down. Yeah,
he was saying that his steering wheel just broke, and you can see it as he's just going down the straight. He just changes gear, and then just suddenly it just drops. Everything just drops out. The steering wheel just turns off, and that's when he starts trying to play with it, trying to turn stuff back on. Yeah, that was really weird. And yeah, he said that he was having loads of problems. I think like he had that crash into Hulkenberg. He had
lost his front wing.
Yeah, the front wing.
He has to pit for a new one.
He had something about the brake bias being too forwards, I think he was saying.
Yeah. He couldn't brake, or basically when he braked it just didn't.
Yeah.
So, quickly, I know I've said quickly about 10 times now. But yesterday was a pretty good day for British sport. Because there was obviously England won the Cricket World Cup, huge. British Grand Prix, Hamilton winning. Spoiler alert. Why are you even watching the podcast if you haven't watched the race?
I didn't know what happened. What ruined it?
And then there was the Wimbledon finals. We're going to quickly talk about a tweet that I sent you last night
that one.
from an Irish man. So he tweeted back to Radio 5 Live. He tweeted out saying, 3 trophies, 3 sports, 3 incredible victories. Yes, I agree. Everyone agrees with that.
Yeah.
But no, this guy says, how could you even... I'll read it out. It doesn't make any sense. How could you even out F1, he meant put, how could you even put F1 into the same bracket as the other two for drama and excitement and skill? 2 nerve-jangling events whilst the other one is boring and mainly decided by a computer. What? This is what people who don't watch F1 just... Oh.
That was... When I saw that, I
just lost for words.
Honestly, I don't know what to say. I said back to you, what was it? I said, I have no problem with someone not liking F1 because they don't like motorsport, they find it boring and stuff like that. That's fine. Everyone has their own. It's when those same people then try to justify the rest of why they don't like it with the stupid facts they've overheard from a conversation that they probably weren't even part of. They just heard it from someone else, and they just gone, oh, yeah, that's a good point. And they're like, who are you talking to? Don't worry about it. And
That was probably about 30 years ago as well, and they're
Yeah.
still using it today. But
yeah.
nothing is decided. Very little is decided by a computer. How is
Yeah.
it decided by a computer? Are you a moron?
It's like it's so dumb to say that to say that it's decided by a computer. The computers are literally there so they can do all they can check the car and everything. It's nothing to do with they have someone sat there with an Xbox controller and just racing the car and the driver's just sat there like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
No, it's completely down to the driver. The computer's there just to check the car, like make sure that it's not going to just stop at some point.
Another great tweet. Some guy tweeting about the Grand Prix saying, "It's just driving a car, mate. I reversed around a corner earlier into a recently vacated parking space. It's not exactly winning Wimbledon." The same guy goes on to say he doesn't even change his own tyres. Talking about Hamilton, doesn't even change his own tyres. How is that a sport?
Imagine that though, in the middle of a race, you have to do a pit stop, but it's going to take you about a minute because you have to get out of the car and change all 4 tyres by yourself.
That is just the most ridiculous. People who don't follow F1 but then try and bash F1.
Right.
You have no idea what you're talking about. It's like me trying to talk about cricket. I don't watch cricket. Yeah, I watched a little bit yesterday, but I don't watch it. I'm not going to stand here and say, "Oh, that over was way too long," or "his battish." Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't like cricket. I'm going to try get more involved into it now. Obviously, we just won the World Cup, which is great.
World champions, mate.
Yeah, I've been watching. I was watching the World Cup. Didn't know what was happening at any point, but I knew that we were doing well. But yeah,
a bit like me when the Super Bowl comes on. I try and understand what's going on. I know you got to throw it 10 yards, but
got to get past 10 yards, and that's
yeah.
I'll teach you. No, I'll teach you.
That was completely off topic, but that was just a little flavour of people who hate F1.
Phil Burr 16 and what's the other guy's name? Ed Morris. You two just I don't want to say anything too harsh. Just wanted to call them out. This is going out. And I know a lot of people, like family members, will be watching this podcast, so I don't want to say anything about them. Just wanted to call them out there.
We're gonna play it safe and just not say anything.
Yeah.
Leclerc puts Verstappen off track in club corner. This was quite tasty. This was 2 laps after the restart, and Leclerc almost had lost the position.
Yeah.
Or was he trying to get past him? I can't remember. Yeah, he's trying to get past him, and he was on the outside of club corner. Or then he got the inside, for club, and then they banged wheels and he forced Verstappen off at the last corner. But Verstappen kept the position. Was that payback, do you think, for Austria?
If it was payback for Austria, Leclerc would have got the position. I think he would have ended up in front and gone on. Well, I mean, he did end up, being finishing in front of Verstappen. But how did that happen? Because that was Leclerc went to overtake Verstappen, and then it ended up with Verstappen coming out still in front, right?
Yeah, I think Verstappen stayed in front.
Yeah.
And then Vettel got ahead somehow with Leclerc. I think Leclerc had to stop again, didn't he?
I can't remember.
Did he stop again? I can't remember. There's so much going on, you just can't keep up.
Verstappen and Leclerc had to pit again, I think. Bottas, Gasly, Leclerc and Verstappen had to pit again because they pit before the safety car. Yeah, okay, so that's obviously, that's where all that's happened.
Yeah, Verstappen passes Gasly on lap 28. That was the team orders we were talking about.
Yeah.
And then there's a little bit of a lull for 5 or 6 or 9 laps, sorry.
Yeah.
Lap 37, it kicks off. Vettel hits Verstappen. Verstappen goes around the outside of Stowe.
Yeah.
And he goes a bit wide, and then Vettel tries to go down the inside, but Verstappen's blocking him, and he just slams into the back of him, locks up. Verstappen goes flying through the air. Yeah. Thoughts.
That was a weird one. I mean, Verstappen made a really good overtake, before going around the outside of. He went around the outside, didn't he, of Vettel?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a really good overtake. Vettel did as you do. He's coming back. He's close enough to have a look, try and make some moves. But going into that, the one of the last corners, I can't remember what that corner's called.
Club.
That was Club. Yeah.
Vale or Club. Yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah. I know which corner it is. It's the left-hander, but
Yeah, Vale. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, it's completely Vettel's fault, but you can see why at first he said, "What was Verstappen doing?" Because Verstappen starts braking really early.
Way early.
He's going really slow into that corner. Plus, he's on the left of the track at that point when you want to be obviously on the right to get into that corner to get the apex. And so it was really weird what Verstappen was doing, but he had every right to do it because he's defending the position. And Vettel he just was going way too fast, didn't stop in time, as he didn't see Verstappen was going really slowly into the corner, and just went into the back of him. And they were both lucky to keep going.
I don't know. My original thoughts were, what is Verstappen doing? He just braked so early and blocked him. But then watching the onboard, everyone would have done the same.
Yeah.
So Vettel didn't really have a choice. He thought that Verstappen was going to go to the right, give him space, but he went to the left, and then he braked early, and then it's one of those crashes. But Vettel seems to be losing his head quite a lot this season. He's now 100 points behind Hamilton. Is that title over? I think it's title over.
I think definitely. The only person now who really can put a challenge on Hamilton is Bottas, and I don't they're not gonna Mercedes aren't gonna favour Hamilton over Bottas because the two of them. It's just the two of them now, so they're not gonna they're gonna let them race, but. I just don't see it being that much of a challenge now. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward for Lewis. I reckon he'll get it done maybe possibly earlier than anyone ever has. Yeah, it could be really early.
Wins it at Monza.
He wins it from the summer break. Just done.
Yeah. Hungary world champion. And then Vettel got a penalty for that. Most pointless penalty ever.
Yeah, that
he was
too
last.
harsh.
He pitted anyway. He was last. He had a 10-second penalty, and then obviously Leclerc and Gasly got through, and the order finished like that. Leclerc picked up the podium, and then Gasly was in fourth, quite close actually.
Yeah.
But what was that penalty for? I thought they were going to wait and then give him a grid drop at the end of the race.
Yeah, I thought that was that was a really weird penalty. I said to you that thing that was more just to make a point. That was more them saying we're not going to allow that sort of stuff, because there was absolutely no reason to give him a penalty. He's already at the back. He's not going to make his way to the points. It's not enough time for him to make his way back up. Yeah, it was very harsh.
One. Yeah. So the top 10 actually in the end was Hamilton, Bottas, Leclerc, Gasly, Verstappen, Sainz did well, finishing 6th. Ricciardo in 7th. They had a really good battle, those two.
Oh, Ricciardo, yeah.
Raikkonen in the points. Kvyat was in the points as well, and then Hulkenberg in 10th. Leclerc driver of the day.
Yeah,
not sure if he should have had that.
Yeah, that was I couldn't really call it. I didn't think too many people had that good. There was no one who improved too much on their position. It was pretty. Yeah, everyone kind of finished relatively close to where they started, except Vettel, obviously. I couldn't say who deserved it, but he only got, I think it was 20% of the vote for it, so obviously everyone was just voting everywhere. I personally thought Gasly had a pretty good weekend, so I would have given it to him.
Gasly as well, yeah.
Yeah. So I think obviously happy for Leclerc. Always happy whenever Leclerc does something good. But yeah.
So heading into Germany now, Vettel's home race. Going to be an interesting Grand Prix after last year.
Yeah, I think he's going to have some flashbacks during the race of it. He's going to go around that corner every time. Just know. Yeah. If safety car comes out, God, that's him.
I like Germany. I like Hockenheim. It's a good track.
I'm indifferent to it. I can like it sometimes, and then other times I'm like, nah. If it's a dull, gloomy day, I hate it. But if it's all right, I'm like, okay, it's a nice race.
We'll roll with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that brings us pretty much to the end. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
Johnny, live from down south somewhere.
I told you I'm upstairs.
Upstairs. If you're upstairs, this would be a lot easier. But yeah, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. We'll be posting over there, and stay tuned. We might be having a rebrand. Not sure.
I think we will.
Maybe we might be UBF1. We don't know. We'll find out.
If anything, we'll do it over the summer break and that.
It'll be over the summer break. It won't be soon.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.
Yeah.